Good morning, beloveds. I'm just having one of those mornings where I'm having trouble getting going. So that's where we're at this morning. All right. So it is August 23rd. Our title is The Importance of Persistence. The first quote is, "Follow peace with all people and holiness, without which no person shall see the Lord." And that is Hebrews 12:14. The second quote is, "I contend with none, argue with none, and am filled with wonderful peace and light." And that is the Science of Mind 264. And then the third quote, which means this is Craig Carter, is, "If we find ourselves surrounded by confusion, we should meditate upon peace until we feel a sense of peace." And that is Good for You, page 105. I guess pirate. The art and science of a spiritual mind treatment can be learned by anyone, even without a textbook or a teacher, though having a knowledgeable teacher facilitates the learning process. Even with a teacher, developing a true healing consciousness is going to take time and effort, and a good idea is to undertake a daily discipline of mental practice and spiritual devotion. The test of our application comes when we find ourselves facing a problem that challenges our new beliefs. Having come to believe in order, we may find confusion around us. Believing in peace, we may see conflict surrounding us. At such times, we must stay with the principle, knowing that in spite of any appearance, truth is still true and God is always God. If we persist in knowing the truth, regardless of the outward circumstance, and refuse to be discouraged even when there is no immediate change for the better, a resolution will come. It will happen first within us, but eventually it will affect our outer circumstances. The key lies in not giving up. For in spiritual discipline, as with other skills, persistence pays off. There is a center within me which remains undisturbed by the outer happenings. At this center, I am one with all things peaceful, all things beautiful and good. Mindful of this center, I go forth to meet my day, prepared for whatever I encounter, ready to remain poised in the midst of whatever storm. I yield to no temptation. I will not enter conflict. God goes before me and prepares the way. I am guided, protected, and motivated by the divine love all through this day. So the importance of persistence. We talk about daily practice. And there's a reason why we talk about daily practice. Because as Jesse likes to say, practice makes permanent. The old saying is practice makes perfect, but that's not what we're talking about here. If we practice every single day, then we are creating a groove. We are creating a habit. It takes 21 days to make a new habit. And so that's the point of doing spiritual practice every single day, is to create that permanent groove, that first response, that default setting, so that no matter what shows up in our world, we already have a mindset ready and willing to deploy, so that in those moments when things go sideways, we don't lose our minds because we're ready. And it is about willing to know the truth within you, outside of the material appearance, which is one of the reasons why we say, 1, happiness is an inside job, and 2, heaven is an inside job. It's like you've got to already carry the seed of that within you for you to manifest it in your outer world. Otherwise, you're just being buffeted by the winds of fate, which we don't believe in the winds of fate, and yet. So, what is it? It's a Carl Jung quote that Jesse likes to use, and it's like, and it talks about, and then we'll call it fate. And it's not. It's like, that's why we do the spiritual practice every day. And you can have multiple spiritual practices, but you don't want it taking up a whole bulk of your day. It's like your spiritual practices should be concise, precise. They should take a certain amount of time, and then you move on into your day. Now, that does not mean you can't sprinkle them throughout your day, because frankly, honestly, I'm a big believer that a nice deep breath before you speak is a spiritual practice. Especially if it gives you a moment to reconsider what you might be about to say. Because things like being in physical pain can change our mindset. So if you are in chronic pain, then you might say things that you don't mean, which is the point of practicing. So you understand, okay, yes, there is chronic pain, but I don't have to say things that I don't mean, because I am aware that the chronic pain is material, but the spiritual truth of me is perfect, whole, complete, well, that heaven can exist in the face of chronic pain. And so that is the point of daily spiritual practice. So when the hurricane winds come in, we stay steady, rock steady, because we have practiced, we have planted, we have rooted, we have stretched up into the heavens and down into the earth, and we know who we are. And yes, it means doing it every day, whether we feel like it or not. Because there are days that you get up and you don't feel like doing that spiritual practice. But you do it anyway. And is it as good as it could be? Not necessarily, but you did it. You've deepened that groove into that spiritual practice. And that sometimes that's what you have to do. Reverend David and I committed to doing these live streams every day, and we do them whether people watch or not. And I understand, I'm in that going to work phase. So some people go back and watch me later. But this is spiritual practice, and I do it as much for me as I do for you. I talk as much for me as I do for you. This is part of my spiritual practice. So yes, I get up every morning, and yes, I treat, and yes, I might treat several times a day, depending on what's going on. Because treatment doesn't take much time. It can, but it doesn't have to. So this is part of my spiritual practice. And yes, there are days that I get up and I don't feel like doing it. And you know what? The days that I don't feel like doing it, that whatever that reading is that I do that day, it's talking directly to me. It is what I need to hear to get my day going. So, persistence is very, very, very important. And even when you don't want to do it, you still got to. Practice makes permanent. And the more we practice, the easier it gets. So, all right. Let me see. Yeah, you don't need a textbook. You don't need a teacher. You just need persistence. But a teacher will definitely make it easier. The test of our application comes when we find ourselves facing a problem that challenges our new belief. Having come to believe in order, we may find confusion around us. Believing in peace, we may find conflict surrounding us. But that is outside. It does not penetrate the inside if we've been practicing. And even if we have been practicing and it still gets to us, it's okay. We can pick ourselves up and try again. All right. The only failure is when you quit trying. Straight up. Okay. At such time, we stay with principle, knowing that in spite of appearances, the truth is still true and God is always, and I just like that, God is always God. If we persist in knowing the truth, regardless of the outward circumstances, and refuse to be discouraged when there is no immediate change for the better, a resolution will come. So I would tell you that is your mission today, is to refuse to be discouraged even when there is no immediate change. Refuse to be discouraged even when there's no immediate change, because things can take time. We are spiritual beings who have bound ourselves into a material reality. The material reality does take a little bit of time to change. If we practice hardball metaphysics, i.e. Emma, things would probably change a whole lot faster. But you know what? Emma's 1 in a million. She's still an example, and she is still worth emulating. And so that's what it is. Refuse to be discouraged. That is the mission, should we choose to accept it. Refuse to be discouraged. Keep on keeping on. You'll get there. I have faith. I have faith. And so, as we're talking about persistence, I'm going to remind you the other spiritual practice that I recommend every day is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Practice self-care. You cannot pour from an empty cup, so you do need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. But it's also about making sure that you are enjoying life. We are here to enjoy life. Are we going to enjoy every part of it? Maybe not. But the more of it we enjoy, the better it will be. So make sure that you are making time to enjoy things. If you eat something decadent, get all in. Really enjoy that. So that self-care, that self-love, that self-kindness, that self-compassion, it can look like taking a deep breath. It can look like taking a nap. It can look like taking a walk. But it can also look like enjoying a really amazing piece of chocolate cake. And the operative word in that sentence is enjoying. Don't inhale the chocolate cake. Enjoy it. All right? I'm a firm believer in, making sure that we take time out to enjoy life. And it's not just about food. You can absolutely enjoy a good walk. You can enjoy a good conversation with a dear friend. You can go and watch an amazing movie. There's all these things. So make sure that you are taking time to practice love, kindness, and compassion on yourself because you deserve it. And you are creating a default setting, a habit, and you are persisting. That is what the name of the game is, to persist. Persist in the things that serve you and let go of the things that don't. All right. That's how we create a world that works for everyone. So, I am going to move into the process of my day. I'm going to encourage you to find us on the social medias. There's all kinds of great content. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. There's a lot of great stuff on YouTube, and it's all sorted into playlists. And we are on Instagram and TikTok. So we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark. So, on Instagram and TikTok, we're Creative Life Spark. So check us out. And I'm the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias, i.e. YouTube, Facebook, and, Instagram. I've started cross-posting these. At least I'm trying to, on the Running Rev Ryan page. So, except it doesn't cross-post the description. So people are like, what? Why is she going? She's just going live. Because I have stuff to say. All right. But I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, Wonders Day, a magical day, an enchanting day, a try and stay dry day, because the weather is still here. Don't get me wrong, we need the rain. So, but be safe in it. Have a enchanting day. A wondrous day, a fantastic day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You may be the only Bible some people read. Remember that. And don't take that as pressure. Take it as a reminder that you are loved. And it is in your nature to be loving. So, have a good day. And if that is too much pressure, you know the drill. All right. Simply have a day, because you're enough, just as you are. All right. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. Oh, I forgot about the email. If you want to know what's going on at the center, because we have a soul session coming up tomorrow and a food market coming up on Saturday, email info@creativelife.org. Because the website's creativelife.org and the email is info@. The hot links are hot. They'll take you right where you want to go. All right. What else was it? No, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I should be back with you at 9 a.m. Take care of yourself and know that you're loved.